Hello, I'm Tripwire, and welcome back to the Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls Remastered slow play. We left off last episode after ringing the second Bell of Awakening. We killed Chaos Witch Quelaag, and I showed you the, it's called the Daughters of Chaos bonfire when you're able to warp to it. Quelaag's sister, we can't speak to her, but we did murder her sister, so maybe it's good that we don't speak to her, right? And we get our first glimpse of, we can see down to the demon ruins from up here, and I pointed out that there was a visible boss in the distance, and I said, we're not going to get into it this episode, but you know what, this episode we are. So, you don't necessarily have to kill this boss right now, because you can only access so much of the demon ruins until you acquire the Lord Vessel anyway. The Lord Vessel is the item, by the way, that you need to acquire in order to warp between bonfires. A very important item that you attain about halfway through the game, called the Lord Vessel. You need it to access 4 key areas much later in the game, and that's how you wrap up the story, is by attaining 4 souls of lords, 4 great souls, to satiate the Lord Vessel and unlock access to the final encounter. And those 4 areas are walled off until you place the Lord Vessel. So it's not possible for us to go all the way down through the demon ruins until we get a certain way into the game anyway. I'm just trying to see if I can see the golden fog gate from up here. Oh yeah, you can. So right there, so I'll position it right above my character's head. That glow is the golden fog gate, so it's a gold fog gate blocking the things that are blocked off until the Lord Vessel is placed, whereas every other fog gate is white. So we can go down there, we can approach it, but we can't go through it and progress anyway, so there's no point. There is a point for us to killing this boss right now, though, and that's that it'll reward us with, I believe, 20,000 souls. And this boss is super easy to kill if you know how to do it, so I don't really see any reason to not get those souls right now. So, this boss is pretty crazy. It has a very sad backstory if you care about the lore. He's got a very silly name. His name is Ceaseless Discharge. And he's called that because he's endlessly secreting lava. You might have been like, well, how the fuck do we even get down there? You gotta kill Ceaseless Discharge, and then the lava stops endlessly coming out of him, and it hardens, and then that path over there becomes accessible, and we can make our way down to the demon ruins. So Ceaseless Discharge is a sad character. He is a sibling to the Daughters of Chaos, so he's a sibling to Quelaag and the Bonfire Keeper. He's also neutral. He's a neutral boss. So you have to pass a fog gate, but you can run right up to him and he won't attack you. And if you look closely, you can see he looks very sad. And he's a sad character. I encourage you to look into the lore. Vadi Vidya's got a great series called Prepare to Cry. Wordplay on the Dark Souls 1 Prepare to Die edition you can get on Steam. But Prepare to Cry, so he goes into lore, background of characters, and they're all very sad in that series, as you might imagine, and this one is particularly so. So this is Ceaseless Discharge. He's neutral. There are several ways to kill him, to like fight him, and all are developer intended. So some people might say it's cheese for doing it the way I do it, but I think it's the way that most people do it, because it's intended, and it's easy, and why not? So the way that he works is that he will only become permanently aggressive to you if you pick up this item over here. So, little snippet of his backstory, he's guarding the robe set of what is believed to be one of his, it's believed to be one of his sister's robe sets from when she was alive. So if you take that, he'll get mad, and then every time you come back, he'll be aggressive if you don't kill him. If you attack him, he'll become aggressive for this instance, but then if you die and come back again, he'll be neutral again. So the only way to permanently piss this guy off is to steal his dead sister's clothing. Which is exactly what we're going to do because we want it. It's actually a really good robe set. It looks really cool, and it has good bonuses. And we're going to be killing him anyway. So, here's the thing. He's fucking huge. He hits really hard. So we're going to do the quote-unquote cheese strat, and it goes like this. You're going to pick up this item, and you're going to watch him. And I don't know if it's in like rage or I don't know, like anguish. I don't know what it is, but he does this animation where it looks like he rips out his own arm, and that is precisely what he does. And you want to pick up the clothing, stand here and wait for him to do that, and then start sprinting back to the fog gate. So let's do it. There goes his arm. He is now holding his own arm. He's going to swing at us as we sprint by, but he's going to miss. You can hear it land behind me. And we're just going to head right on back to the fog gate. And so this is intended. If you fight him out in the open there, you're going to get your ass kicked, probably. Might even one-shot me at this point, I'm not sure. But because we waited until he ripped out his arm, he won't use fire attacks, he'll just follow us. If he had kept that arm in him and we'd confronted him immediately, he would blast us with fire, and it would be very difficult to stay alive. And then on top of that, he'll follow us all the way back here, and he's going to leap. And now, he's kind of fucked, because he's only got one arm, and he's using it to hold on, and below him is this giant chasm. So now all we've got to do is poke his arm a few times, and the fight will be over. And that's it. Ceaseless discharge encounter. Developer intended method of killing him, obviously. So, and here we get a cutscene of the lava hardening and allowing us to get a little bit further into the demon ruins later on. So again, with the whole knowledge is power thing, if you don't know about that, you're going to try to fight him like he's a regular boss, and you're going to die. But very, very simple to fight if you know what you're doing. So now, as you can see, that area over there, we can run down along the path. We've got a treasure down there we can pick up. That there is a type of demon we haven't encountered yet, but we will. Back there are Taurus demons. So that demon over there is actually an optional boss if you've got the master key. We'll go back and fight him probably pretty soon, actually. And the Taurus demon was the first boss, one of the pretty much the first non-tutorial boss, I guess you could say. And the thing is that later in the game you realize they're not really bosses. They were just given boss status because they came early enough that we were weak and we weren't very good at fighting them. But the only difference is that they had a boss health bar overlay on the HUD, but you can fight them here, and they're just treated like normal enemies, although they are identical. Like, they're the same size, they have the same amount of HP, I believe, but they're kind of glorified when you first encounter them because they're regular enemies down here. All right, let's level up a little bit more. Again, I'm going to go mostly strength this time around, I think. Oh yeah, and let's equip this fancy stuff. So it's called the Gold Hemmed set. It is a special set. It cannot be upgraded, so the stats that are on it are the stats that you'll always have. You can't bump them up at all. But it makes you look like a ring wraith, and the bonuses on them are really good. And another thing that's really notable about this set is that for how good the defensive bonuses are, the weight of this clothing is also very light. So, very good set. Looks awesome. And will give you good resistances while allowing you to maintain your fast roll, which is nice. So we've done all there is to do here for now. Well, more or less. We could go down to the demon ruins, but we wouldn't make it very far. So we're just gonna head on back and probably go to the depths. Actually, the depths are Dark Root area. And I feel like I want to say the Dark Root area because there's a lot to it. But I think depths will come first. So we're going to go ahead and run back. I know I've got tons of stuff to talk about when it comes to this game. I wish some of it would come to mind right now because we've got a lengthy run back to the bonfire in Blighttown. I also am not quite sure what I'm planning on doing Upper Blighttown. I mean, there's not a whole lot of point to doing Upper Blighttown if you have the master key, I just want to show it in case you already have started a playthrough that you're committed to finishing, and maybe you didn't choose the master key because you didn't know about it or didn't know how good it was, and now you're struggling. So I just want to show it, just for the sake of, you know, being a completionist and showing everything off. But I don't really feel like doing it right now, and that's okay. Am I still wielding that ring? Yeah, okay. We got the rusted iron ring on still, allowing us to run normally through the swamp. Also now, look how big our poison bar is. This set has really good poison resist as well, and toxic resist. So it took us longer. Like obviously we're still standing in a poison swamp, you're still gonna get poisoned, but it takes longer with a good armor set like this. I'm really excited to show off the Great Hollow, but again, that won't be until warping is an option for us. Alright, so before we leave Blighttown, actually, let's go over to where that asshole with the toxic blow dart was. Because there's an important item back there that I would like to get my hands on. And prior to that even, I think there's an opportunity for us to walk across kind of a precarious tree root thing and open a chest that, before you get the gold hemmed set, I believe has a really good robe set in it. I think the gold hemmed is straight up better across the board, but if you haven't done Ceaseless Discharge yet, but you have access to Blighttown, at least you can come get this robe set. It's called the Crimson robe set, I believe. It is a robe set worn by the Sealers of New Londo, aka the Spooky Ghost Town. Alright, so this is kind of a precarious, and you're being shot at by the blow dart guys while you make the run, so it's pertinent that you move a little bit quickly, making it even more likely to fall. It's just tough. But we got an item here. There, okay, so it's not in the chest, but we got the Crimson set and a Catalyst. The Catalyst being used to cast sorceries. And in the chest we have, okay, Remedy. Again, I don't really mess around with sorceries. Couldn't honestly tell you what Remedy does. Based on the name, I'd guess it would cure you of poison. Particularly since we're in Blighttown, that would seem to make sense, right? We got mosquitoes shooting poison goop at us. We got toxic blow darts coming at us. What a nightmare. So, if you're new to the game, I'd recommend that you go to the Darkroot area before coming here, if you're planning on going over here and dealing with these toxic guys, because in the Darkroot Garden, you can kill enemies that drop a consumable item that will allow you to cure yourself of poison and cure yourself of toxic. So we don't have any of those items because I haven't been there yet, and I've only got one dung pie, so I'm not going to be able to turn myself like weak toxic to protect myself from becoming strong toxic, so I just got to be careful here. See how I do. Alright, good. These guys don't respawn, by the way. Actually, these guys drop them too. The purple moss clump, that's used to cure poison. That won't even help us here. Alright, so this area has a bunch of these guys. And I'm going to show you how I like to deal with it. Just head straight on, around the corner. Careful not to fall down there. I'm going to deal with this guy on the end. He's dead. I got hit by one, but it's fine as long as I avoid getting hit by a couple more. I have very good toxic resist now that I got this robe set, actually. Before I was wearing this set, it would take me 2 darts to get toxic, and now it's a lot more. Alright, so that guy's dead. 2 more purple moss clumps. And they're not always in the exact same location. We got a pretty good layout this time around, actually. A lot of the time there's one on the where I'm looking over there against that wall. And there's one left, and he's right there. So roll through the pots to break him. Give him a little stab. Remember, the rolling attack is a lunge, so it's really good for him. And we got a purple and a blooming purple moss clump. The blooming variant is the one that will cure you of toxic. So it's good to have some of those before coming over here. Get another soul item. And what we want from this area is right down there behind that grate. It is being guarded by 2 fire dogs. So dog enemies in Souls games are notorious for having just very erratic movements. They're very annoying to deal with. And the fire dog variant is much stronger, of course. So the way I like to deal with this is to come over here. Actually, let's try it from the other side. I feel like it might be a little bit easier from this side. But anyway, look down and hit the target button, walk off the edge, and then plunging attack. And they're both dead. Nice and easy. So I'll grab a third Firekeeper soul so we can upgrade our Estus even further. And this is something I recently found out. I didn't know this in 260 hours of gameplay. I didn't know this until just a couple weeks ago. But if you collect the first 3 Firekeeper souls, even if you haven't killed the gargoyles yet, even if you haven't explored that area, if you do that all like early game before making any other progress, when you go to free Lautrec from his cell, he won't even be there. His quest line will have been advanced by the fact that you collected Firekeeper souls, because remember I told you if you leave him alive, he kills the Firekeeper. So the Firekeeper souls are what he's after, and if you collect all the Firekeeper souls, it actually progresses his quest line early, and you don't even free him from the undead parish. He's just not there. I found that out recently, and it was jarring because it threw all my plans off, because when his questline progresses, the Firekeeper in Firelink Shrine dies, whether he was sitting in front of it or not. So I had to rescue her in her questline. So what you can do is, if you leave this little area now, you'll have to deal with more fire dogs. Oh, there's the last Blood Art guy. No wonder he wasn't up top. And if I want to leave this area, I have to go. Oh. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with that fire dog, but he's having a seizure or something. So the ladder up there will take us back. But of course, there are enemies between us and that ladder. If you don't want to deal with them, you can just homeward bone out. I guess I'll try it. See how it goes. Sorry, I only got one. Yep. Fine. I want to sneak up on this guy, but I think the dog's going to ruin it. Never mind, I got them both. That was beautiful. You're done spasming? Cool, good for you. The way I like to deal with dog-type enemies, it only works on some of them, but if I just back away, once they get close enough... Okay, well, when they breathe fire, it's a different story, but... Dude, stop. See, he's gonna do an attack once he gets close enough to me, because I'm backing up the entire time, his attack misses. And as soon as he does that and misses, you can just punish. Well... Okay, I dodged into the fire. Don't recommend that. So, that being said, the regular dogs we're going to encounter probably at this point next episode, that doesn't work with them. Their movements are too erratic, too fast, but with the alternate dog types, like these fire dogs and also the dogs you encounter in the DLC, it does work. You won't ever take damage if you just lock onto them and just back up and wait for them to miss you. Totally viable for those types, but regular dogs, not so much. But anyway, we got our Firekeeper soul, and we are getting the hell out of here, which, if you're new to this game, is an enormous relief. I don't feel like learning Upper Blighttown for the first time is a whole lot worse than this side of Blighttown for the first time. This side is definitely more convenient, but I don't know. I think that if you can handle Blighttown, you can handle Blighttown. I also was told that, I didn't know this because I played only the remaster, but I didn't know that Blighttown apparently was also referred to as FPS Town because older generations of video game consoles had a hard time rendering everything in Blighttown, and it would lag like fucking crazy, adding to the stress for players. So the Valley of Drakes is actually a cool area as well because it connects us between Blighttown and Firelink Shrine. But if you go that way, it also connects to two other areas, Darkroot Garden and New Londo Ruins, which is the ghost town. Actually, since we're not going to be getting to the depths until next episode, let's take a little walk down this way and I'll show you something cool. And that something cool is sitting over on the cliff right there. And, ooh, I shouldn't be doing this actually, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, it's called the Valley of the Drakes. If you look to the left of this undead dragon's wing, you see like a little blue smudge in the distance. That's one of the drakes. The drakes are Pretty small. They're blue. They breathe lightning. This is an undead dragon. Looks very cool. Hits very, very hard. Breathes poison breath. And you'll notice it's got some items. If you loot these items very, very carefully, it won't wake up. But the positioning is very precise. I don't know how to do it properly. However, you can loot this one with no problem all the time. Won't wake up. However, he will wake up when I loot these items. And if he hits me, there's a chance he'll one-shot me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit him. Well, I was wrong. I'm going to hit the grass next to him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit him, and I'm immediately going to run away. And we have that bow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to equip the bow. And we've got some arrows, and I equipped it to the wrong hand again, because I'm the worst. Okay. So what we can do is we can just shoot him. See. 24 damage. Oh, that's not good. 26 damage on the wing. I don't know why, but his wings take more damage. So if you want, you can just cheese enemies. As long as the positioning is right, you've got the ammo for it. You can also upgrade your bow, you know, like other weapons, and have it deal more damage. Or you can use different arrow types that deal more damage. I initially went to pull out my bow, and I was going to be like, oh, I'll just use the poison arrows I just bought. And then I remembered that was on my other character. How we doing? Oh, not good. Not good at all. I'm not going to be able to kill him like this. This was a mistake. I should have just grabbed the items and then run and hope for the best. But I've committed. Jeez. I'm just going to fast forward this part. Oh my god. I'm almost out of arrows. He's not dead yet. If I get too close, he's gonna breathe poison breath at me. Sheet fuck. So that poison breath, it looks like grape jelly. It'll stagger you as well as poisoning you, so I don't really want to mess with that. Of course. Look at that damage. Look how much damage that did. Oh my god. Okay, so I was wrong. He's not gonna one-hit me, but holy shit. It hurt a lot. You're so almost dead. Can you be cool? We don't have any other arrows, do we? Shit. And I could fireball him, but like, what good's that gonna do? It's got pitiful range. Come on, go for broke. Nope, I shouldn't have gone for broke. It's a good thing he does that jelly attack so often. We're gonna heal up twice. Yeah, we got him. That is an awful sound. So he drops Dragon Scale, so upgrade material for dragon weapons, and we get the Dragon Crest Shield. And a Stora's Straight Sword. The Stora's Straight Sword is pretty cool. It has split damage between physical and magic. Decent moveset. So it's got scaling for strength, dexterity, and faith because of the magic damage. And split damage can be really cool. In general, it's not necessarily better because the way that defense calculations work in Dark Souls is that it will reduce incoming damage by a certain percent for each damage type received. So the split damage might seem to total more damage than a different weapon you're using, and then in practice it might deal less because it's being reduced by their physical defenses and their magic defenses in conjunction. So not necessarily better. It's a decent weapon. It's a special one, so it's going to require Twinkling Titanite. The other thing we got, though, was the Dragon Crest Shield, which is like the Crest Shield, but dragon. So as you might imagine, instead of blocking magic damage very well, it blocks fire damage very well. And also has 100% physical, so cool shield. So you can see the drakes over that way. If you go through that huge archway over there, that's the back entrance to New Londo, which also contains an elevator and a back entrance to Darkroot Garden. And so I think that's going to do it for this episode. Shouldn't be too terribly long once I speed up that stupid part of me firing the bow like 80 times. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next episode of my Dark Souls Remastered slow play.